Hello everybody. So this video is going to be the video answering everyone's questions, what my beliefs are, what do I believe in, what's the story, everything like that. So before I get into it though, I just want to let y'all know I do have a spiritual store, which is where I sell these angel number earrings, angel number hoops, angel number hair clips, literally angel number everything. So go check that out. Subscribe if you like my content. Check out my TikTok. Everything will be down below, and my Instagram. A little disclaimer: if you are strictly your religion, if you are Catholic, Christian, strictly Muslim, strictly whatever you are, please click off of this video if you are not willing to listen with an open mind, because to be honest, I am not trying to hear it. I'm not trying to hear people trying to convince me to believe what they believe and that this is wrong and this is right. I don't want to hear it. Like, for real, do not watch this video if you do not have an open mind. My beliefs are in the strict middle, honestly, of like religion and spirituality. I do not have a religion, so let me get that into the air, because everyone thinks that I'm like Christian or Catholic. I am not Christian or Catholic. I'm nothing. There's nothing wrong with being those things, but I am not that. So let's start from the bottom. So I was born and baptized Catholic. My whole family's Catholic. Well, they were. My mom isn't anymore. She has no religion either. My whole family was Catholic. Growing up, I never, like, I knew about God, obviously. Like, I always loved God, just God. But in general, like, the religion aspect, at one point, we were Jehovah's Witness, like my mom was for a few years. And like, it didn't last that long for her because, like I said, she became more spiritual. Like, she's not really associated with the religion anymore. But I used to get really bad anxiety surrounding religion, like, ever since I was a little kid, especially because I think, like, I acknowledge things a lot earlier than other people. Basically, I used to think that, like, every little thing that I did would make me go to hell. Literally, like, every little thing that I did wrong, I thought I was gonna get some sort of karmic punishment and like go to hell, and everything that I did was wrong. And if you don't do this, if you don't do that, if you don't do this, like, I used to literally, like, no, it used to freak me the fuck out. I remember when I was 7, I would literally freak out because I thought that everything that I did wrong, like if I told a white lie, if I did this, if I did that, I was doomed. Like, that's exactly what I would think. I remember I would spend hours praying and being like, God, please don't let me go to hell. Like, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. It was like, no, like, I couldn't, like, no, I'm sorry. For me, no, it just too much for me. Let me think of the age that I stopped associating myself with the religion. I was like 10, like, honestly, like, I was really young. I was 10. I remember at that point I just said, I was like, I love God and that's all that matters. Like, I remember saying that to myself, and my mom agreed with me. She was like, yeah, I don't associate myself with the religion either. I just love God and do what's right by God, and that's it. And I was like, okay, fair, like, at least someone's on board with me. As time went on, I went through a super spiritual thing when I was 10. So this was around the time that I stopped associating myself with the religion. I went through like something really demonic. Like, I was hearing a lot of demonic voices in my head, and I used to think I was crazy. Like, I thought I was going nuts. But then after that, like, God helped me get through that, even though I didn't even realize what was going on until a year ago. I finally put the pieces together and I was like, hold the F up. And I channeled and I was like, okay, so that's what was happening. After that, it was straight spiritual from there. Like, everything spiritual. Like, I was so interested in the paranormal, like, extremely interested. And I knew that there was something that I wasn't doing yet that I was going to do one day, if that makes sense, like, around paranormal things, because I was just so interested. Like, spiritual things in general, I just knew that I had a place in that. Like, that was something that was going to be in my life forever. At that time, I used to think, like, I had to be conventional, so I have to choose to be a doctor, I have to be a psychologist, I have to be this, I have to be that, and I have to have religion because everyone else has a religion. I was really at a point where I felt alone, and I was just like, okay, well, no one believes what I believe in, and people might think that I'm a sinner or something, like something evil, because I don't associate myself with religion, and I just want to have a spiritual thing. Like, I just want to grow up to be spiritual. Like, I literally don't want to work anywhere or do anything working for somebody or anything conventional. Like, I just wanted to do my own thing. A lot of people would put me down. They'd be like, what do you mean you can't be a spiritual whatever? Like, you have to you know, do something else because they don't make money and all this shit. I remember like for a long time I just stopped telling people. Like I didn't really tell people in the first place, but when people would ask me, I would tell them. And then after time I was like, okay, I'm not telling anybody anything anymore ever again, because literally I don't need to hear the bullshit. So I was like, I'm done telling. So I stopped telling people. But it still remained in the back of my head. Of course, to my family, I was like, I'm gonna be a psychologist. And I really did think I wanted to be that. Like that was literally what I wanted to be for a long time, because I realized that psychology is the closest thing to spirituality. Like for me, I think that all the things that surrounding psychology, as far as people work, how people behave, how people think, like that all interests me so much. So that's what I wanted to be for a long time, right? I was around 15 when I decided that I wanted to become a model. I was like, I'm gonna become a model, like fuck everything else. Like I'm gonna become a model because I love fashion so much. I love modeling, like that is my passion. And it really was, like I still love modeling, like that is so fun to me. I love fashion. I will never stop loving clothes, fashion, the way models are, like the art behind it, everything like that. I will never stop loving it. It was my main venture at that time. I had a friend and he used to take photos of me, and he had a professional camera, so they would come out looking really nice, and I would post them on my Instagram, which is now deleted. But I had an Instagram surrounding like the art that I did as far as modeling, and people started reaching out to me and was like, can you model for my brand? Can you model for my brand? And all this stuff. And so I did. I was doing a lot of that. This lasted a good 2 years. I remember I even went to Miami. I was on runways. Like it was so much fun. I thought that was it. I was like, this is it. Like I'm in Miami. This is literally gonna be the call of my life. Like that's it. I'm gonna become a model. And guess what? It did not happen. I remember I was so like brought down at some point, because throughout all of this I still held God highly in my heart, but I realized that I wasn't truly doing what I was meant to do, you know, because I remember I had literally applied to so many agencies. I had done so many things for me to become a model, and I realized that nothing was working. Like literally I did everything that you can imagine. I was applying, I was going places, I was trying to get people to notice me, I was reaching out to people. When I was 16, I went through a spiritual awakening. I remember everything just shifted for me, and the spiritual awakening happened after I started seeing angel numbers. That was like my first thing. So this was back in 2017. I was 16. I remember I started seeing angel numbers like crazy. I'm telling you, they were everywhere. And I remember I used to try to talk to people, and I was like, hey, I have a question. Like, have you seen repeating numbers? Like, do you believe in angel numbers? Like, this was, I think, like the beginning of like the spiritual wave that we're in now. It was like, it was honestly like a year or two before. I was asking people and nobody understood what I was talking about. People were like, I don't know, I don't see them. And I remember I was trying to put people on. I was like, okay, well, now that you know, now that I told you, you're gonna start seeing them. And then people would text me and they'd be like, oh my god, after you told me about angel numbers, I see them everywhere now. This is crazy. And I was like, do you see what I mean? Like, this shit comes naturally. And I realized that angel numbers were messages from your angels trying to tell you something. Thus, literally my whole brand is like angel everything, because I love angels so much, just as anyone would. After a while, I just kind of like stopped trying to put people on because people weren't really seeing it, and I just figured, okay, well, it's time to work on me. Finally, in 2018, the very beginning, I started changing my life around, because keep in mind, I was extremely like depressed throughout this time. I was sad for many years in my life. Since I was like 10 until as soon as I turned 17, I was like, I need to change my life around. I could feel it, like the calling was for real. My life literally made a U-turn. I was so sad. I would have sleep paralysis and see demons all the effing time, like evil spirits all the time, and I used to think it was normal. I was like, okay, well, you know, that, you know, everyone sees that, right? Like, that's completely normal, until I figured out that's not normal. You're not supposed to be seeing things like that. My room was a mess. There were things on my wall that I didn't even like anymore, like this fake front that I had. Like, I didn't even like my room. There was nothing that I liked anymore. The music I was listening to, I didn't like it. A lot of the people I was talking to, I just stopped liking them. Like, it was so mind-opening. So I finally took a step and I started doing my research. Signs of a spiritual awakening, signs your life is changing, and there would be like a whole bunch of articles, and I would read them and it would all resonate with me, and I would see literally all of these articles telling me exactly what I was going through. So finally I started doing like a mental cleanse. In 2018 I got in trouble. I got my phone taken away for 2 months, literally 2 months. And throughout this time I decided to take the initiative and work on myself. So what I did, my sister had a laptop and my mom didn't know that I had the laptop, so I literally took out the laptop and I started searching up mad videos on YouTube. I was like, okay, how to become more secure within yourself, how to heal your inner child, how to find who you truly are. Like all of these videos, I would look them up and I would watch every single one every single day. I had nothing better to do. I literally had no phone. I couldn't model, like I wasn't allowed to leave the house. I was stuck in my room all day, every day with my thoughts, and I just said, let me just put it to use. I started doing so many meditations. I did meditations I think 3 times a day, every single day for 2 months. I would go do inner child work. I would like heal my inner child, heal all my insecurities, because keep in mind, like I was extremely insecure before this. I was confident but not confident. My ego took over a lot of the time. My ego would make me feel bad, obviously, and I just in general was not the person I wanted to be. Like I knew that I could reach a level where I truly did not care what anyone thought about me. I knew that I could reach a level where shit could change for me completely. And so it did. I did a lot of meditation surrounding chakra healing, third eye opening, everything spiritual. By the time I got my phone back 2 months later, I didn't even care about Instagram. I did not give 2 F's about social media anymore. I deleted my Instagram. No, first I made a post and I was like, hey y'all, like it's been a long time. I just want to let y'all know I do not feel like I want Instagram anymore. So, and I deactivated Instagram for good. I was done. I was like, I do not want to see any of these people that I'm following anymore. I do not want anyone to see me anymore, because all the things that I was posting stopped being from modeling to spiritual things, and that was not what my niche was at that time. You know, people were kind of like, okay, well, I'm following you because you're a model, not because you're spiritual. You feel me? So I just deleted my account. I was like, I don't really care what people think. Like, I'm done. After that, I remember I got so many messages. They were all like, oh my god, did you delete your account? Like, did you actually delete your account? And I was like, yeah, I'm done. Like, I don't want to be on social media anymore. Keep in mind, at the time, that was the only thing that I had. I had a Twitter, but I never went on it. I had Instagram, I deleted. YouTube, that was the only thing I would go on, and it wasn't even my account. I would literally use my brother's account to search up all my spiritual things, because I just didn't want anything associated back to me. I needed to be alone. Like, finally, when people were hitting me up again after everything happened, I just explained to them that, you know, things were different now, and I just kind of stopped talking to the people that weren't doing me good anymore, that I felt were draining. This was when I was in high school. I was going into my senior year. Right before I went back to school, I went to the thrift store and I bought everything that I knew that I wanted to wear. I was like, I'm done pretending to be some, I don't know, like whatever people want me to be. Like, I'm gonna dress how the fuck I want to, because I'm so tired of having people having expectations on me. I do not care what people think. I'm done. So I went out, I bought everything that I wanted. I was like, I want this, I want that. I don't care how it looks, I don't care what I look like, I'm gonna wear it. So then finally school started. Senior year was the best year, hands down, like my best school year in all of my school years. It was so fun, it was so freeing. I didn't care what anyone thought. I wore what I wanted. I met my twin flame, like we're still together. Senior year was just amazing. College came, and at this time, like I had crystals, sages, I meditated, manifested, all these things that were very new age. Like one day something very scary happened to me and my boyfriend. Some girl put like black magic on us. And keep in mind, I believed in like cursive black magic before, but I did not believe that it could happen to the extent that it did. I was not as spiritually strong as I am now. I was very strong still, but I was not as strong as I am now. And my boyfriend was absolutely not. Like, he knew about spiritual stuff because I always talked about it, but he did not know anything surrounding spirituality really, because he didn't really, you know, acknowledge it or anything like that. Like, I was the one who brought it up to him. He didn't know about it before me. Oh my god, literally the worst. There were so many evil spirits and demons around us. I've never experienced so many evil spirits in my life, because before this I was working with angels. Like, I could communicate with angels, I could communicate with spirits that were good, and I didn't realize that there was such a dark side to spirituality. I thought, you know what, like, I'm never gonna have an interaction with the evil spirit because angels are protecting me and I only talk to angels. No, like, listen to me. If you think that talking to a spirit is just talking to angels all day every day, you are so wrong. There is a whole dark side to spirituality. There are demons, there are evil things that happen in spirituality, and y'all need to know that. Okay, that's exactly why I'm in my TikTok. As y'all can see, I be freaking people out on there, but I don't give a fuck, because I know that it's helping people to see everything, you know, not just the meditation, the manifesting. There's also evil spirits, evil intentions, evil eye, so many things. This time I was feeling extremely alone. I was so scared. I didn't know what to do. I thought like our lives were over. I knew that I was gonna get through it, but I did not know how. We did get through it. I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I had a friend in Australia that we talked on WhatsApp, and she would tell me, she was like, listen, I know you don't really believe in this stuff and you're not like Catholic or anything, but you should go get holy water. You need to go to a church and you need to figure out something, because this is not like, this is something beyond you. And I remember I was like, what do you mean? Like, are you sure holy water works? Like, is it something that actually helps people? And she was like, yeah, because she was born and raised Catholic as well. So she was like, yes, it does. Like, I'm not religious either, but I do know because my whole family's Catholic. And I was like, well, what the fuck, like, I'll do anything. So I went. So we went to a church. We went to Catholic churches, got holy water. I remember, like, so many people didn't want to help us. I remember I was so upset. I was crying every single day. People did not want to help us. Literally, the churches I would contact, they were all like, oh, I'm sorry, we don't deal with that. I was like, y'all are the church, like, you guys need to help me. I'm asking you in good favor, like, help me. Nothing. Until finally we met this one guy at the last church finally that we went to, and he was like, you need to command the demons to go back to where they came from. You need to stop being scared of them and tell them to go back, because they will do it. They are terrified of Jesus. They're terrified of God. They will go back if you command them, but if you're scared, forget it. They will take advantage of you. And I was like, literally, I have to. This is a last resort. I don't know what else to do. So I took holy water and I went home. I want to get into this in another video because this is going to be a super long video and this is another topic, but everything worked so well. The holy water worked. Commanding the demons to go back to where they came from worked. Everything was fine again. I literally could not thank God anymore. And I realized something that I was doing when I was being like super spiritual is that I was neglecting God as the universe. The universe equals the creator, God equals everything. People ask me, do you believe in the Christian God, the Catholic? I don't have a label. There is no Christian God to me. There is no this God to me. It's literally God. Like, that's it. Universe is God, creator is God, spirit is God, the white light is God. Like, everything is God to me. Okay, so whenever I talk to God, I channel God. Like, I don't know why, you know, people think that I'm channeling a specific God. The God that I talk to has no rules. The only rule that he has is treat others how you want to be treated. Be kind to others. Do everything with good intentions. That's it. There's no, oh, if you're gay, you're going to hell. Oh, if you do this, you're going to hell. There's none of that. And people are so scared, and people always tell me like, oh, but you know, like, what you're saying is not true. Like, this is, I don't care. Like, I don't care, okay? Like, what I'm telling you is what I believe in. If you don't want to listen to it, don't listen to it. Scroll off of the video. I don't care. This is exactly what I've learned through channeling with God. How much peace I've experienced, because the God that I know, which is the creator of everything, has no rules. All of the things surrounding religion is sought out to make him seem like a tyrant, like something or somebody that wants to punish people whenever they make a mistake. That is not who God is. God is so loving. Like, God is understanding. God is kind. Everything. As I was saying before that, I didn't wear a cross. I did not believe in the cross. As y'all could say, I obviously wear the cross now. I know that like everything I believe in comes from different aspects of religion. Before this, I didn't see any kind of religious thing as a good thing before, because I used to see it as something that was used to scare people, which I do still believe. Like, I do believe that a lot of religions are used to scare people into doing what they want, you know, like egoistic things like that. But I have learned that holy water does work because it is made under the power of God. The cross works because Jesus, which I do believe Jesus is God's son, the power of God is in the cross. I believe that everything that is under the power of God works. I believe that these things are true. I do not believe in the rules, like you need to do this, you need to do that. I do believe in a lot of Bible things that have happened, like Adam and Eve. I do believe that happened because in my opinion, it did. From what I've heard, it did. Before, I used to neglect all these things. And after talking to God, I realized that there is literally such a fine line between spirituality and religion that we keep bouncing each other off of. You know, people are like, F God. Other people are like, F spirituality, that what you're doing is evil. No, it's not, okay? Like, everything is aligned. I don't understand how crystals can be seen as evil if they're from the earth, which God made, literally made the earth. And he made crystals to help us. Manifestation, in my opinion, is not evil. Because when you're manifesting, you're telling God that you believe that you deserve what you want. And that's exactly what God wants you to believe. He wants you to believe that you deserve what you want. We have been manifesting since we were born. We have been manifesting the day that we came to this earth. Everything that's happened to you is because you manifested it. You thought about some circumstances and repeated affirmations in your head, and it's caused your reality, which is exactly why God wants you to think positively, to believe that you deserve what you want. Praying and manifesting go hand in hand, in my honest opinion, because praying is saying, God, can you please grant me this thing, right? Either way, God is listening. Whether you're praying or manifesting, it's literally the same thing. God is listening to you. God will grant you your thing. The thing is that people think that manifesting is evil because they feel like you're not the one who makes up the decisions. You're not the one who makes the power up. You're not the one who creates what you want. You are the power of your own little world, of your own world. You create everything that's happened, and God is there to support you through all of it. People think that a lot of the things that are spiritual are evil because we are coming more in power with who we are, which is literally what God wanted. That is exactly what God wanted. All he wants is for you to love him, for you to know that he loves you too. That is it. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Do whatever you want. Stop being so scared, please. Like, it literally makes me upset when people are asking me, oh, am I gonna go to hell because this and that? Baby, like, nothing is gonna happen to you. It's okay if you're Christian and you start leaning a little bit more into spirituality. Like, it's literally the same thing. The only difference is that religion has more of a rule-based thing. Spirituality is very open-minded with a lot of the things that they're teaching you. For example, I don't believe in heaven or hell directly as how other people would believe in it. A few years ago, I was like, hell isn't real. And I wasn't completely sure what happened, but I just felt like hell wasn't real. And I did not believe that heaven was a place that we just go and rest and all this stuff in the clouds after you die. I believe that what happens after you die is you reincarnate. That's what I believe in. I believe that once you pass away, you choose what's going to happen to you in your next life with God, with the angels, because you all have a karmic debt to pay off. So if you were a criminal in this life and you have a chance, like your soul still has a chance of becoming a pure being, if that makes sense, then what's going to happen is you're going to have a huge karmic debt to pay. You're not going to go to hell. You're literally going to go up, and y'all are gonna choose what's gonna happen in your next life. Okay, well, since you did this is what's gonna happen to you. And since this happened, this is what's gonna happen, okay? So, of course, you don't remember it. Like, when you go back to Earth, you don't remember it. Your soul remembers everything. So if you do past life regressions, you will remember what happened in your past life. In general, your ego does not remember. So when you come back, you're not gonna be like, I mean, some kids do. Like, some kids remember when they're very little, they forget. It doesn't cause them the same harm as obviously it did when they were living it. Like the trauma, whatever you did. Once you hit a certain level in your life, where you're done reincarnating because you are so spiritually strong. You've worked through all your karmic debt. You've taught everyone what you needed to teach. You are the highest level of spiritual that you can possibly be. Then you will finally rest. You will finally stop reincarnating. You can choose to become a spirit guide. No, you cannot become an angel, because angels are light beings. It's kind of like demons. You cannot become a demon. Demons are just black forms of energy. That's it. What I believe about the hell thing. I made a few TikToks about this because people had asked me. But as far as hell, I don't believe that when you die and you made a bad choice, like I said before, you're gonna go to hell. I believe though that if you have done something so bad, you are just such a dark human being, there's no ounce of saving, there's no ounce of healing inside of you, which is definitely possible. There are definitely people who allow demons to take over their bodies and their soul has been taken over. Obviously, if you do hail Satan, if you do that and somewhere deep inside you still have a light, like a little piece of light that can be transmuted out, you're fine. But if all of you is completely dark and you've created that for yourself, that is where I believe that you will go, like to a kind of hell. It's not like the fire burning and everything like that. It's more so like a place where you're just never happy. It's like suffering, like eternal suffering, as they say. It's like how heaven isn't a garden, a big fat garden with peaches and zoo animals. It's just like you're chilling in the galaxy, you're at peace, there's no reincarnation. Now you're just watching whoever it is. Another question I get a lot is when people ask me, okay, so when my grandma passes away and I want to contact her, does that mean I'm contacting her, or am I contacting all of the many lives that she's lived? No, there's still a piece of you in every life. So for example, say I passed away 300 years ago and my great granddaughter wants to talk to me, and they're like, okay, like I'm contacting my grandma, so they're contacting me, and then after a while they kind of just stop hearing me. It's kind of like the essence of that soul is still there to care after you, but that whole soul has gone to reincarnate again, so the communication will not be the same. You will still receive signs, you will still receive the things that you're supposed to, but as far as the communication to that soul, it won't be the same because they've come back to earth. You know what I'm trying to say? God isn't somebody to be afraid of. Like, please don't be afraid. Nothing's gonna happen to you. The devil, a lot of people on TikTok have been telling me that they don't believe in the devil, but from my personal experience, the devil does exist. Not in the way that you think. He may appear to you as a person or a red thing with horns, right? Because that's what might scare you most. But in general, he's just a big black mass of energy. It's literally the polar opposite of God. God is a big white mass of energy. He's not a man with a beard in the sky. He may appear to you that way because it's appealing, but in general, he's just the source of light. He can be a he can be a she. There's literally no gender involved. So whatever you call him is what you call him. If you want to say she, he, it's whatever appeals to you most. You know what I'm trying to say? I know a lot of people call him, he, because that's what people have heard a lot of times in their lives. Like I call him, he, because that's what I'm used to. You could be a she, creator, spirit, source of light, anything, like it doesn't matter. Yeah, so the devil's like a polar opposite that emits dark energy. There is a side to every coin. There is black, there is white, there is good, there is bad. There is literally yin and yang, everything. Just like how the earth is good and bad, it's literally a source of that. Like that's exactly what it is. A lot of people have also been telling me about if God is so real, then why would so many horrible things happen on this earth? I kind of like to get into this topic because I feel like it clears up a lot for some people, but some people don't understand. If you do, then I hope you understand what I'm trying to tell you. When we come to this earth, we choose everything that happens to us. All of the horrible things, all of the good things, everything. The things that we choose to manifest, we predestined that. You know what I'm trying to say? Like all of this was pre-planned before we came. As far as like all of the horrible things that happen, you guys have to understand that we chose that. Like the people that are experiencing that chose that. As hard as it may be to swallow, like no one wants to hear that. No one wants to be like, what do you mean? Like why would I choose to live in poverty? Why would I choose to have cancer? Your ego doesn't want that for you. No, like it's not always what you want, unfortunately. A lot of times it's just what your soul needs to experience in that lifetime to learn and grow, so that when you pass away, or whatever lessons you learn in that life, in the next life, it'll be a new story for you. Something will be better. All the people that are dying from, you know, what's going on right now, the pandemic, all those people chose what was happening to them when it did. So for example, I could choose for me to die from an illness when I'm 70, 80, right? That could be my choice, my soul's choice. I don't know that right now, but when it comes, that's just what it's gonna be, because that's how it's supposed to be. If you're meant to die in a certain way, it's because it was meant for that to happen. So please, if you know somebody that's passed away, sorry about the change, I had to go somewhere else. Basically what I was saying is that you all have to realize that unfortunately even the worst things are chosen, the things that we don't want. And a lot of people, I think, put that onto God because they're like, how could you let this happen to me? But at the end of the day, it was us that chose that. Like, it was needed to pay off a karmic debt, to become better people, to learn to understand. This was something I used to suffer with a lot as well. I understand completely. I used to be super mad a lot, and I would be like, God, like, what in the world is going on right now? Like, what the F? And as time went on, I would just understand and learn, and it would literally all just be for a learning experience. Like, that's it. That's all it is for you to learn. The purpose of life is to learn. Okay, so it's not to suffer, it's not to live in fear, it's not to do right because you're scared of going to hell. It's literally to be kind, to learn, and to make the most of what you have, you know? I just want people to realize this. Stepping into your own power is not evil. I promise you, God wants that for you. There are so many things that seem a little unexplained in general, like in spirituality and God, but at the end of the day, it's all the same thing. God is the universe. God is a light being. God just wants to help everybody. There's no tricks around it. There's nothing crazy going on. Like, that's it. And that's why I believe in, you know, like the cross. I believe in holy water, but yet I manifest. Yes, I do communicate with God. He is extremely kind and understanding. It's all about forgiving yourself, you know, because honestly, like, He will forgive you probably 10 years earlier than you will forgive yourself. Like, you need to be the one to forgive yourself. Here's the reason I opened my store, the reason I have a YouTube, the reason I have a TikTok and Instagram. Literally everything is because of you, because I know for sure that this is the only thing that I care about. And I definitely believe that what I went through last year, this was in 2019 what I went through with the whole like demonic thing, it was definitely meant for me to connect with God and to understand completely what I'm believing in. To not just put a broad light onto, okay, it's just the universe and manifesting, but there's also a God that is behind all of it. I used to see God and the universe as two different beings, but no, they're literally the exact same. And all of the things that I'm telling you guys about is what has brought me so much peace in my life. There's no reason to be afraid. If you find yourself being a hardcore Christian for all of your life and then suddenly having an interest in crystals, then try your interest. Like, don't be afraid. Nothing is going to happen to you. That's it. Like, literally, whatever feels good for you. And you can feel the difference between something that's evil and something that's not. You will feel the difference very strongly. Trust me. That's basically it. I know it's so much. If you guys have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to ask, because I feel like I missed a few points, and if I did, I'll make another video. But thank you guys so much for watching. Follow, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Check out all my social platforms. I love you guys so infinitely much. God bless you guys.